Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
So when Karen asked me to do this, I said, oh, goodness. I'm not really a great public speaker. I'm used to dealing with 5-year-olds because I taught kindergarten for many years. And I retired about a little over a year ago. So how did I come to this church? When I was working, teaching kindergarten, I had a student who went to speech, and Sarah S. was the speech therapist there. So we struck up a friendship. And eventually she asked me to come to her church twice. It's like, I don't know. So one of the first things I asked her, is your church inclusive? Because my wife and I have been together like 19 years now. And we've been through a few different churches. But I wanted to make sure that a church I go to really is an example of what Christ wanted, you know. Everyone's included. No matter your socioeconomics, your living, your lifestyle, who you're with, just everyone's there, and everyone's welcome. Mm-hmm. So I started off with coming to the church. I came once, then it turned into twice, then it turned into 3, then it turned into weeks and weeks. And I just found this church very welcoming. People always smile here, making me feel like part of the church. So much so that I was asked twice within a few months to be on the vestry. First of all, I didn't know what the vestry was. I was like, okay, I know it has something to do with leadership of some type. And if I'm the type of person, I'm a, what they would call a hard worker, not a smart worker kind of teacher when I was there. So I'd work really long hours. And I was more of a worker bee than being out in the leadership and kind of saying all the great things I did. My wife used to complain, you don't say how you're a good teacher. I said, no, I just don't feel comfortable with that. But for some reason at this church, I was okay to say, all right, I'll try the vestry. Like kind of making a leap of faith. I'm like, What do I have to do though? That sounds like really responsible stuff. And I just retired. So I was like, okay, well, I'll try that. And then other things came in. I went to a book study. Then I came to their all the different things I see at this church, like the crab feed, the pet blessing, the Easter celebration. There was always opportunities here, something to do, something to join. You could be an usher here. You could be a lector reader here. I'm still learning some of the terminology. Mm-hmm. So I thought, wow, there's a lot you could do at church. And by time, let's keep with the theme of time, because I'm a kindergarten teacher, this was my homework last night, so I could stay focused, because I taught kindergarten. It was really hard to focus and get a sentence in. So before coming to Grace Church, as you can see, my time was mostly work. Half of my lifetime was probably doing a lot of work, working all the time. And I loved work, but it overtook the other parts, like family and friends and God. I would go to church when I did go to church, and then I'd come back, but I didn't do much more beyond that. You know, once in a while I open the Bible and stuff. And I thought, wow, my life is really unbalanced with time. So that was the year I finally decided I need to retire and find something a little more meaningful to do with my life and the time that I have left. So that was before Grace. When I came to Grace, I made a new picture. It says time after Grace, tick, tick, tick. But instead of nice quadrants, everything went in circles, circular. God is always kind of around in my thoughts now, in my prayers. Church. I do a lot of things at church, more than I thought I would. Choir might be a hard no, though. Can't carry tune. But other things, coming and watering the plants or going to healing service, which I didn't know what healing service was, and I realized how much I do need healing service. Not always for big things, but maybe just little things that are kind of in your heart that you have to work through, or in your mind that you have to rethink. So I learned how to pray. Praying was always kind of hard for me because I just feel awkward talking to God. But I'm realizing prayer is just conversation, laying out what you really need to say. And you can be angry, you can be sad, you could be joyful, you could be anything. It's just having a conversation, a relationship. I also see, too, the great works that you all do here with all your ECW, is it ECW? And the gym. You're reaching out to the community, all the good works you have. There's a lot of good work, a lot of good trouble you get into over here. And I really appreciate that, because to me, that's what church is. It's not just the building. It's the people who make up the church. It's the people and what they do and the good works they put out there and how you bring the community in, or how you reach out to the community. That's the important work. That's where the heart and the hard work come into play, and you're going to reap the fruits of all of that, you know? You're a small church. There's still room to grow. I see a lot of the new things, the updating, like the renovations, the rooms, the bathrooms, the new kitchen. And that to me is saying striving and thriving at this church. You might be small. You're like that little engine that could. You just keep working, working. Don't let anything deter you, because you're on a destination somewhere, and you're going to get there. May not be this year, maybe in the fair future. But what I see is this church is going somewhere. It's not going to die out because of you. Because of the sermons, of the preaching, of the words, of the meaning of what church is. So I get a lot of that. The pastor forum has challenged me to rethink some of the things I thought about church. Some of it was not so great, but all challenged me to see where can I fit in? Where can I help out? Where can others, people at home too, do what you could do? And all the talents that are here, the people in the choir. If your talent is reading, you're a reader, webcasting. I'm trying that out too. I don't know, but we'll see. So I see that talent of sharing here. And it's not sharing where you feel you have to, but what you're comfortable. What is your niche? What fits for you? A lot of participation here. I went to the Epiphany Lunch Project. It was great to see that too, because sometimes we come across people and we're like, wow, what can I do? But there are things we can do. They might be little things. We can't solve everything, but we can do what we can do. I just really love the community building that's going on at this church. Again, it's a church that's striving and thrive. Again, special notes, kindergarten style. And the treasures, I started thinking about treasures. Treasures I think about, like there's monetary treasures, there's physical treasures, but I think these treasures are deep, like building your faith, loving your neighbor, even if you don't agree with them, and it's really hard to agree with them. Building that community, reaching out to others, or letting them come to you. Strong community, there's just like a strong community feeling I have of her. Forgiveness. I've learned a lot to forgive about myself and others too. Those expectations we have about others in our family or outside our family. And they're not going to be who we want them to be, but I have to accept that. So coming to church has actually helped me to kind of be accepting. I don't have to agree with how people live their lives, but I do have to be accepting so that you can get beyond those roadblocks. And finally, I just want to say the name Grace is very appropriate here, because from what I've been told, you don't earn grace. You don't have to work at it. It's given to you as a gift. So everybody, accept the gift. Thank you.
Yes.